June 26th council meeting, and I'd like to ask Councillor Douglas to take us through the prayer, please. Apologies. I have a late apology for Councillor Curtin, unavailable today for reasons between he and I. Someone happy to move that be accepted? Councillor Rose, second. Councillor McGregor. I'll put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Thank you. Notices. I have a notice. The supplementary item that came out on last Friday, decision item number 20, I propose to put that in after number 11 this morning. Any other notices? Councillor Rose.
Notice for the explanation to the colleagues, Mr. Chairman. I'm still under instructions to walk around during a meeting, so if I stand up and wander around sort of on the hour, it's not because I'm getting bored, it's because I've got a bad neck.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. That's fine. No running. Just walking.
Yeah. I've just had a phone call. I have to attend an emergency meeting leaving at 10:20 this morning. I won't be able to attend the rest of the day.
So you're gone for the rest of the day?
Yes.
Okay, so that's... yeah, okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, just note that one of my former committee members, Tipi Tareha, died last week, and funeral was attended by Viv and the Tangi last Friday. Thank you.
Okay, and Councillor Scott, any other notices?
Mr. Chairman, if the chairman of the Māori committee has to leave early, should we have the Māori committee report presented before he goes? I actually don't see it there.
And it will happen in the next few minutes, I suspect. Any other notices? Conflict of interest declarations. Thank you. Okay, confirmation of the minutes, 10th and 11th of June 2013, which I have a copy somewhere here. Whew. Deep breath. Let's work through them for accuracy. 2, 3. Page 2, page 3, I should say. Page 4, page 5. Page 6, page 7. Page 8, page 9. Page 10, page 11.
Mr. Chairman, project 983, I'm just a little confused about the carry forward recommendation 750 for regional hockey turf facilities. I thought there was still 2 million unallocated.
Yeah, part of that is borrowing, in my understanding.
Is that the reason?
Yeah.
I see, that's okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify on that, what happened to the total amount that was
Well, can we come back to that as matters arising?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Page 12, 13. Starting again on page 14, 15. 16, 17. Page 18, page 19. Page 20, 21. Excuse me, page 22, 23. Page 24. Someone happy to move that they are a true and accurate record? Councillor Scott, seconded Councillor Rose. Thank you. I'll put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Now, Councillor Remerswell, you had a question as a matter arising.
Yeah, thank you. Just on page 11, in relation to project 893, what happened to the original amount that was set aside to be decided by Hastings District Council how they would spend it?
But, pardon me, what happened to the...
Yeah, because I understood it was, I think, 1.5 million that was allocated to their choice of project.
Thank you. Ms Lamb.
Through you, Mr Chairman, there's in the long-term plan last year you made provision for $2 million to be spent on regional hockey facilities, providing it met the condition that there was an agreed and acceptable plan by a number of listed parties to what those facilities should be. There's no specific allocation of money to Hastings District Council. The total figure that was broadly allocated within that district is $2.5 million, and $500,000 of that is to the Tamata Peak Visitor Information Centre. So that this recommendation here was to carry forward that financial provision to 2013-14 to allow for funding of that project should it come forward this coming financial year.
So it says 750,000 for regional hockey field.
And the balance would be borrowed. So this is the money that would actually be carried forward that we have in an account.
Is it worth adding for Councillor Remerswell, because I think she was away when the decision was made, that there was a decision to carry over until the end of September, and that hopefully an acceptable plan would be obtained by then?
Through you, Mr Chairman, I think that's further on in the minutes when there's a response
Okay.
to the Regional Sports Park
Covered in
submission.
the minutes.
Right. Okay.
Any other matters arising? We will certainly be dealing with this further throughout the day. Okay, thank you. Action items. Lambert and Mr Adie's absence.
Yes. Thank you, Mr Chairman. The Guppy Road Reserve land transfer will be brought back to you in July when Mr Adie and Mr Hanson are both able to, are both present. The information relating to the rabbit control operation at Cape Sanctuary was sent out as an email to councillors on the 19th of June, and the report on open spaces again under the responsibility of Mr Adie and Mr Hanson was provided as part of the staff response on the annual plan submission.
Mr Chairman, just arising out of that, the information sent out regarding plantings, I can't just lay my hands on it, but I just want to ask the question, given that that was funded from the investment portfolio funds, of those plantings, are they all of a commercially viable species?
You're talking about the plantings up at Tutera?
Yeah.
That you, Waihapua, yeah. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I'd have to ask Mike, who's obviously not here, or someone else in his area. But I could find out the information for you.
Popping it on the action as an action item, because I think it's quite material. If it's funded from investment funds, then the harvest has got to be a commercial one eventually. And there's some indications that some of those eucalypts and so on have no market.
I'll ask Mr Leakey to send out an updated email on that.
Well, that'd be right.
Well, yeah, and we can leave it on the action item list.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Councillor
Chairman,
Douglas.
I just wanted to ask a question about the the report on open spaces, there was a bit of toing and froing about that, and in the absence of Councillor Curtin, maybe I can ask his question, which I'm sure he'll ask. My understanding, unless I missed it, was there an actual piece of paper? There was some verbal comments. Remember, it was said there was no commitments, and then after a little bit of timing, various commitments appeared, and then we made 100,000, I think, for the cycleway and Wairoa from that. I wonder if we can get it in writing if I haven't seen it that way.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the response to the external submission from memory, authored by Mike Adey, did have a series of options for the use of the remaining 800,000 in the Open Space Fund, but they did need a little bit more work to expand those options. And from memory, Mr. Adey indicated that within a few months he would come back to this council with that expanded list.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Then, in fact, the status comment is probably incorrect. Then it was provided. I mean, it really should be that the report will come in a couple of months, surely.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the report covered the update on cycleways, which was important. It was a big chunk of it. I think it was 4.6 million, or towards $5 million worth of cycleway fund, and how it was used and what amount was to be carried forward. The open space was the remaining bit. There was 100,000 from memory was committed to the cycleway down in Central Hawke's Bay. The remaining 800,000, you're right, it was soft as far as options. So that should have a matter arising or an action point going forward.
That was part provided, you're correct, but we actually have more decisions to make as a council about where we go with the rest of that budget and what are the priorities and what are the maintenance costs, etc. So you are quite correct, Councillor, that does need to actually come back again. And remain as an action item.
Well, I think so, and it was said there was a report, a physical bit of paper, and I think it's important that we do that, and it was for the 900 less the 100, as you quite rightly say. Can I ask a second question? And under the actions arising, and you'll have to forgive my ignorance, do we actually get an ongoing action report about official information requests? Because in a meeting I attended last night, that became quite an issue. And I'm wondering if councillors ought to be aware when they come in and when they go out, as the case may be, as an action item.
Well, at the moment, councillors don't get a report on that. But if you wish that to be a formal part of or a standard paper at a council meeting, we can have that set up.
Just coming back to the point raised by Councillors Dick and Douglas. So I'm getting a little alliteration, sorry. We have been given the assurance that we're getting a report on the overall plan for the open spaces and the further development of it. So that really needs redefining in the action point and quite clearly stated what the timetable is for that.
It'll be reflected in the minutes, what the timing of that. But you are quite right. Yeah. Councillor Gilbertson.
I support the idea that the information, official information, things be on the agenda. And on the contrary, I think the Guppy Road screening is so trivial it shouldn't be there. That should be sorted out in 2 seconds flat. For the council to be worried about trivial things like that is absurd, in my opinion.
Right, okay. Any other questions? Someone like to move that we accept that report? Councillor Gilbertson, seconded by Councillor McGregor. Put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried.